It's like a voicemail app. All
Dumbest.
right, here we go. We're live.
We're live. We're live, you guys. It's Trevor Hall's birthday. And I was just talking to Trevor Hall and saying happy birthday when I looked at the clock, and then Facebook Live wasn't live because every once in a while Facebook Live dies. You would too if you had so many people talking at you at the same time. And then Trevor Hall was like, get off the phone. And then I was like, double sag, kind of rude. Well, it didn't really go like that. I was exaggerating. Okay, welcome to Facebook Live. Brought to you by after Turkey Day, before Christmas, before Mercury goes retrograde on Saturday. Hi, retrograde Mercury going backwards, going to make things glitchy. Like, for example, this computer didn't start on time. And then in comes the full moon. Oh, yeah, that's over there in Gemini. We're going to write a newsletter coming soon to your neighborhood. Oh, that's right. And then comes Christmas. You should see the astrological chart for Christmas. Oh, my God. You guys go look at the astrological chart, first of all, for January 1st. It's a full moon on the morning after New Year's Eve. And there's a big triangle with a kite. So it's like literally in the heavens. It's all earth and water, kerplunk. We're going to have a really good 2018. It's going to get serious. Let's get serious. So today we're talking about Mars, and we're going to be talking about astrology. Oh, no, really? I heard about it somewhere. I don't know if I believe in that stuff. I was at a gathering last night and someone found out I was an astrologer, and they were like, oh, you just use that just to talk about. You're obviously a really good therapist. I was like, what? And he was like, no, you just use that astrology to get them in, right? I was like, no. As a matter of fact, Mr. Skeptic, who doesn't know anything about anything, but I'm here to help you. I believe in astrology full-heartedly, and I was once like you, a skeptic. But if you try anything and actually practice it and study it, you too will find out that astrology is real. You know, Sagittarius energy's around. We're a little sarcastic, a little bad, but I'm getting better. Okay, so here's the deal, kids. Today is the conversation about Mars. We're going through every planet. So there's going to be a series of Facebook Lives that you can refer back to if you want to learn about each planet. And so far, we did the sun, that lovely personality that sets us up for the day and makes us happy. We did the moon, which was the internal world, and it's more the emotional. We did Mercury, how your thoughts work or don't work, and really went into detail. That one's a very important video. I have to say, if I had to point to one planet being the indicator of how to reach enlightenment or how to manage your world or how to come to peace, like to exist in peace, it would be Mercury. So don't neglect Mercury. It's the thought process that determines everything. I think we learned in that class, the stimulus of my thoughts becomes the nature of my reality. The stimulus of my thoughts becomes the nature of my reality. Like what my thinking happens, it creates the results. So that was that class. Then we did a class on Venus, which rhymes with penis, which made you smile. And that has to do with I'm in love. Is it true love, Debbie? That's what my brother used to say. Is it true love? And now today, we're going to go into Mars energy, which is much more direct. It's just how we're starting. Like Trevor Hall says to me, ruff, you know, that kind of male energy that's very straight up and very direct. Everyone needs it. So you have to, obviously, you have to have the sun sign, your personality, because it gives you life force. You have to have the moon. It makes you human. The moon is the emotional temperament that makes this planet. Our human nature comes out of the emotional body. Then comes Mercury, how you think, and that determines everything. Then comes Venus, what you love, like the nature of your heart and what your taste buds are. And everybody's here to have style in this life. There's a great song by James Taylor. I love that song. The meaning of life is just enjoying the passage of time. And one of the things he says, you may as well have some style on the way down. So that's Venus, your art, your love, the beauty. And Mars is a particularly important planet because I think in our society right now, it's gone so out of whack. Like the Mars energy is male, and it's everything we've been seeing in the news from Harvey Weinstein to it's just crazy the stories out there. That's male, that's Mars. Think of Mars as a circle with a little arrow coming out. We're going to use the P word again. It looks like a little penis sticking up. And it's such a funny thing that God did that. Gave those boys those things that stick up. And the Mars energy, the penis energy, the outgoing energy is very important to be respected. and to be honored. And it's how manifestation happens. So we're going to talk today about manifestation and how your style is, how you do it. Because depending on where your Mars is, I can tell your male energy's expression. And we're going to go through those. So just reviewing, your ego is your personality type. That comes with a knee-jerk response to the sun. The moon is your internal world. That's more of a private, gentle, quiet place that you live in, depending on what flavor it shows up. But it's your dark part of the sky at nighttime where you're quiet. Mercury is the bright morning star. It has to do with how the mind works first thing in the morning. What am I thinking? And then Venus is that beautiful art that makes this planet so pretty. It rules money, it rules food, it rules touch, it rules art, it rules love. And now Mars is the male energy that creates life itself, because the penis is what initiates birth, or creation, I should say. And so we don't want to underestimate I think, you know, that book, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. Mars has gotten a bad write-up because people think of it as being, you know, we've disregarded the male. We've kind of judged him. We've made him, I heard recently in a class I was taking that we're vibrating like at 160 milligram or whatever, like giant, and women, and men are like at 50. It was just a mean truth. But there is such a different frequency. I just went to that gathering last night, and there was men, and there was one man particularly, and he just talked. And this is very Mars. Male energy has to express itself. It's penetrating, it's pushing, it's directing. So I found that really interesting. Male energy being very pushy. And how, in contrast, the feminine is Venus is very receptive. The moon is feminine. It's very receptive as compared to the sun and Mars. So let's go through the different flavors of Mars in your chart. And I want you to pay attention. The question I'm asking you is, how do you assert yourself when it comes time for you to push, when it comes time for you to make an effort, a concrete effort to get something done, when it comes time to follow through, you know, make the thing happen or stick to it. How are you at stick it to itness? When it comes time to argue, when it comes time to find your sexual juice, when it comes time to exercise, Mars rules exercise. It's the energy and the physical expression of the human that wants to push into something, that wants to exert their energy, that wants to like feel alive. So it's very male, and it's very directed at the release. I mean, think of, someone told me once that men are addicted to orgasms. And if you think about it, it's so different for women. It's so different for Venus. Venus is the beauty and the aesthetic and the smell and the touch. And Mars is the it's the, they just love that. Woof! Didn't wake up the neighbors, did I? So let's decide what your male energy is doing this life. Let's break it down first into elements. So you can go on Astro, if you're a beginner and you've never done this before, you go on astro.com, astro.com. And on the very top of the page, you're going to see free horoscopes. You click on that. And then the very top of the page, in the left-hand corner, it'll say chart drawing, and you click on that. So it's just really 2 steps, free horoscopes, chart drawing. Up will come an invitation to put your birth date, time, and place. And then you click continue, and up will come your chart. And in, again, the upper left-hand corner, there's a box in blue that has all the English words. And you're going to look, I mean, it's got the symbols, but you're going to look up Mars, and then you're going to see what sign is your Mars in. So to start with, you're not going to know the elements. You could, there's a little box that says FEAW. It's a little square. And if you look under Mars, is a circle with the little penis sticking out. In FEAW, where's the Mars? It'll tell you fire, air, earth, or water. That's what that little box is. But for those of you that know astrology and are watching this, you just want to ask yourself, what element is your Mars in? Is it water? Because if your Mars is in water, which is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, except for Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Cancer and Mars in Pisces is not comfortable, because water sensitivity, it's quintessential feminine energy. It's the energetic that makes you want to go in and be soft. And Mars energy has no interest in being soft. So the best example of Mars and water, I love this example. My son has Mars and water in Cancer, and he was on a rugby team. And he's very athletic. He's double Aries, but he said he wasn't very good because when it came time to hit and assert and bang, and right before it was time to hurt the person, he would back out. Well, that doesn't make a good rugby player. So Mars in a water sign is the desire to be gentle, although assertive, and certainly Mars, simply, it always describes your male. But if it's in water, if it's in Pisces or Cancer, your emotional body gets influenced when it comes time to setting up your energy. Now, if your Mars is in Scorpio, that's the most comfortable placement. Why? Because Scorpio also has a little thing sticking out like a penis. And so it's a very sexual influence, and Mars is sexual. So Mars in Scorpio is the most comfortable placement. They follow through, they stick to it, they stay the course. They've got a very strong drive. So Mars in Scorpio, best position for getting things done. Now, they can be mean and they can be edgy, and Mars energy has that. I think what it is they have a quality of Mars and Scorpio. They have a quality of being frustrated when the assertive energy they're pouring out is not received. So they can be a little bulldozy. They can be a little direct without really listening, Mars and Scorpio. But Mars in Cancer is a highly sensitive position, as I described, and a very natural nurturing. I have this. Loves to cook and play house and be the mom. And Mars in Pisces, I think that's probably the most uncomfortable placement, Mars in Pisces, because it's male energy in a sign of the dreamer. And it takes you off planet. And your male, the reason why Mars is successful in life is it's simply the part in all of us, it's testosterone that wants to push. Well, Pisces hate pushing. So you can see how that would be Mars in Pisces, but they're really good as dancers. If you take your male energy and you wrap it up in Pisces, you're going to want to move the world in a very liquid, whimsical way. If you're Mars in Cancer, you're going to want to cuddle and take care of people. If you're Mars in Scorpio, you want to focus. Okay, let's do air. So first, just having it in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, just the element of air, to have Mars in air, your male energy needs to talk. You really have a attachment to communicating. And your Mars energy needs to write and be the spokesperson or the verbal person. So if Mars is in Gemini, your male energy just wants to keep on thinking, and you've got a million ideas and you want to talk for a living. It's a great position for a coach or a writer. Yeah, what a great position you have Mars and Gemini for a writer or coach, not for a sexual being necessarily, because one, they're fickle, and two, it can get stuck in their head. Mars in Libra, male energy with the peacemaker, and that's challenging. So it's a little bit of an indecisive energy. It's a little bit of like, how do I use my male energy in the name of partnership? This one's very good at being like a mediator, but what happens to their male energy is they can't make a decision at times. It's a hard, Mars and Libra can be very difficult because they want peace. My dad had this. They want peace, but they'll fight for it. So they're feisty. Mars and Libra, it's a funny one, but they're really good as lawyers or mediators because they do listen to the other side of the story. And Mars and Aquarius is, now this one is a genius influence because the male energy has this, Aquarius is the most versatile sign in the zodiac. They can do anything. So they're always on the front edge of something new, and Mars energy. So that's a very advanced spirit. My BFF has that. She can do anything. Like she can go from finances to building something to mediating for a profession. She's done that to being a really good wife, to being a really good, it just Mars and Aquarius, they can do anything. Mars in an air sign, that is definitely someone that pours their energy into the intellectual materials of life. Mars in a water sign, far more sensitive and internal. Mars in earth, this is so cool. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, far more comfortable. To take your male energy and put it in an earth sign, you're going to get shit done and you're going to follow through and you're going to be really good at it. Any one of these makes me happy. Mars and Taurus, such a slow, steady grower. Their male energy is very deliberate, very stubborn, and they take their time. Mars and Taurus, it's like they're not going to get pushed and they're stubborn, but they really do get things done. They just judge themselves. Mars and Virgo, oh my God, they love to clean. I don't know if they love to clean, but they're so good at organizing. They do it like this. It's just the effortless quality of Mars and Virgo. Mars and Capricorn, such an achiever, such a manifest. That's the best placement. Put a little star by that one. That's called exalted. Where would you rather put your male energy than climbing up a mountain and not giving up and having the male energy to follow through? Can you imagine having Mars in a more perfect place? I have one of my employees has Mars in Capricorn, and when I work with her, I'm always so relieved because she won't stop. I love that quality because my Mars is in Cancer, so I have that too. The mother energy mind. I stay with things till they're done. Her Mars in Capricorn is even more efficient. So you put us together. That's what's called compatibility, you guys. When you notice how your Mars relates to your partner's Mars, especially sexually, is it compatible or not? Mars in a fire sign. Well, first of all, just think about it. It belongs, Mars loves to be in Aries. It's where it naturally belongs. Mars rules Aries. Every single sign has a planet that rules it, and that's how you know when it's comfortable. So Mars in Aries is this really physical, outward energy, and they love to be athletic, and they're very competent at being straight up and forward and direct. Habiba has this. No mamsy-pamsy, no vague, straight, direct. You know what they want. They say what they want. It's just a wonderful, clear male. I love male energy. Mars in Mars in Leo. That's these people have a temper. All three of these people, Mars and Leo. They're show-offs. They're bossy. They're powerful, and they love drama. Mars and Leo, yeah, and they have a temper for sure. Mars and Leo, they just impulsive. And Mars and Sag is the most impulsive and physical, and definitely one of the worst tempers. Yeah, Mars in Leo, Sag, Aries, Leo, or Sag is like this quality of energy is so the protector. Anyone that's got Mars in Aries, Leo, or Sag, you come in this life to protect people and to be the one that says, hey, 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 no, or giving direction to people. So yes, it's bossy, all three of them. And yes, there's a temper, but why do you have a temper? Because you're standing up for something and you're being the warrior. Mars and Earth is more the practical manifester. You're not going to let something go undone. Mars and Air is you came here to promise that you'd communicate, and Mars and Water is you're probably a healer. Reiki, Mars and a fire or water are great at energy. Okay, thanks, Malika, for putting a little cheerleading session in there for you. Your little Mars and Leo stuck your little face in there. Okay. And then the other piece I want to say is male energy in our society right now is being battered. It's like male abused feminine for so long, and now the returning cycle is here. And you can certainly see that with Harvey. He's such a great example. It's such a great example of Mars gone crazy. Like, I'm going to have sex with you whether you like it or not. This is Mars gone crazy. I'm going to masturbate in front of you whether you like it or not because I want an orgasm, because I just love that feeling. And Mars has no rationality. It's the impulse. That's what I want you to write down. Mars, impulse. What's the instinctual? If the moon talks about your emotional body hitting straight up, Mars talks about your male energy without control. It's kind of like starting a fire, your Mars energy. So even if your Mars is in Pisces, you get all excited, you start getting like really spacey. Or if your Mars is in Capricorn, you get all excited and you're like, I want to get this done now. So it really comes with a strong directive, Mars. And it's got so much sexual charge to it. It's like the part in all of us that wants to, dare I say it, wants to fuck, but not make love. Like it just wants to have the physical, it's the athlete. It's like I was watching this client of mine is in love with this famous rugby player, and watching him and just seeing the amount of Mars, like the activity of his circuitry when the current gets put into a Mars energy. It's different than like Uranus energy or the moon energy where there's energy running through your body. Mars is like the current runs through your body and it needs to find release. And so it will find its instinctual response based on where your Mars is. And if your Mars is dormant and you've lost your get up and go, you've lost your pushiness, you don't want to be assertive, you don't want to use your male energy, you don't want to clean or organize or build or business or make something happen, that's because you've got something lethargic in the system. And that's when you look at your chart and you go, well, if my Mars is in water and I'm lethargic, I know that I need to go get some Reiki. I'm a sensitive and my Mars energy is down. Or if my Mars's energy is in air and I know that I'm dormant, I've lost my chi, I've got to go do therapy and talk. Or if my Mars is in Earth and I flatline, I don't want to work anymore, I have to create some goals. It's really important for Mars and Earth to have goals. Or my Mars is in fire and I don't like to exercise, I don't want to get up and go, then you have to turn on loud music and up your chi again on a daily practice. Mars energy for women, and that's who I'm talking to. I mean, I don't know how many people are in the room today, Carrie, but Mars energy is for women. Yeah, there's over 100 people in here. For women, and I bet all of you are women, a few men, is misinterpreted for being domineering or bossy or pushy or, over controlling. That's Mars in its most unhealthy form. I just had my 2 boys with me for the last week or so. Oh my God. And I really got to see my practice when I was raising them was, I remember sitting at the dining room table one night at dinner and saying to them, you guys, am I bossy? I mean, do I tell you what to do all the time? And they were like rolling their eyes. And I was like, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to stop doing that Mars energy as a woman where I push and tell you what to eat, tell you what to do, and tell you when to be home and tell you. I'm going to retreat. I'm going to watch my male energy. And if you see me overreacting, just say mom. Well, that went over. I realized my Mars energy was a misinterpretation of the caretaker because it's in Cancer. So I'd lose my boundary. Now that's an overextended Mars. I do not lack energy, you probably noticed. But some people with Mars who are dormant hold it all in and then they get sick. Mars can show up in your body. By the way, where your Mars is, you can look at the body part it rules and you will see where your sensitivity is depending on if you hold back. So my Mars in Cancer, for many, many, many years, I had bad stomach problems because I would hold back I was just too afraid to assert myself. That's very funny. Trevor's trying to make excuses for being mean to me on the phone. It's his birthday today because he still wants his present. Well, we'll see what I decide. Back to Mars energy in what element and how it is that it gets stifled. And if it gets stifled, what are you going to do to activate it? That's, what I read yesterday. I was in, where was I, Carrie, with all these women? This is so funny. I can't remember. We were in, I know, it was the question and answer section for the level 2. In the school, you go through level 1 and the class is just simple like this. Like you learn one planet at a time. You learn about Mercury and you learn about where your Saturn is. And then the second level, you start learning the technical part of how to do astrology. So all the women were in the room. There was over 100 people that have taken level 1 and 2 this season. And then we got some feedback from people about how it had changed their lives. How many people had lost weight? That was shocking. And it continues to happen. Why? Because I'm a fire starter. I get your Mars energy to come back because I am role modeling. Like, I can't wait to go work out today. So why do I work out? Why do I use my male energy? Because being dormant or complacent or passive aggressive Mars, that is Mars being squished. That just makes people fat and miserable. So if you want to take this class, one of the things you're going to find in level 1 is you get activated. Something happens in the contagious flavor of our school. Yeah. Okay, well, I've done half an hour. Mars is now calling my name.
Everybody loved it. Everybody is saying that they had aha moments and where their Mars is. So thank you very much. Another good one today.
Another good one. And so you guys, there's a couple things coming up. One is the star community. I want you guys to go on the star community because every day, every month on the starcommunity.com, I have this description of where the moon is today and what the Mercury retrograde is going. And I think it's like $22 a month and you can get this information on a daily basis. And then of course we have our interview. Is that okay to say, Carrie? Yes.
Yep, opening tomorrow.
Opening tomorrow. So if anybody wants to take the class at half price, you have to go to interview. How would they do that, Carrie?
If they go to the link that I put in the comments about the Applied Astrology School, if you put your information in there, we will email you tomorrow when the course officially opens.
You mean if they put their email in, you'll write to them?
Yes, I will.
Did you hear that, you guys? So if you want to learn about this class at half price, it only happens twice a year, and it's for about a week or so that the card is open. Feel free. And then the third thing is the school opens at the end of January. We're going to open the card again to start in February. So that's the full class with the mentor. And there's only 10 people in a room. You're on this kind of a platform where you're on the internet with one mentor, and she and I have studied your chart. And then you spend 6 weeks going into each of these planets like we're doing. And you isolate them, but it's a gestalt. It's a whole circle. It's a mandala. So we're pulling one piece out right now, Mars. But what if your Mars is conjunct your Venus, like Hitler had? Confusing. What if your Mars and your Venus, you've got to figure out where the planets are in relationship to each other. But today we isolated Mars, and you're going to activate your male energy this Tuesday. And there's so much fire in the sky today. You should feel activated and energized, and go have fun without me. Thank you all so much for being interested. You're fulfilling my dream by studying the stars.